Alrighty everybody, welcome back. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Su-11. I just want to go ahead and give a quick shout out to my YouTube members. I appreciate y'all for helping to support the channel. So, like I said, of course, the Su-11. Now this right here is a battle rating 7.3 now, premium. Premium is of course always going to be in the game, and most of them are pretty well balanced. You pick it up if you want to progress the tree, but it's not really going to give you a major advantage. But this plane, however, is something else. Now, it is 7.3 now, not 7.0 anymore, but it's still, frankly, ridiculous. You get a, in my opinion, 8.0 plane, at the minimum 7.7 plane, at a battle rating of 7.3. You see right there the A5 Saber? He's a full battle rating higher than me, and I'm outperforming him in this turn. I'm sustaining a 790 to 800 kmh, pulling 11 Gs in a slight dive. Like, this is ridiculous. And I'm able to easily, well, I wouldn't say easily, but I'm able to get around behind the Saber. My friendly right there goes in and attacks him, and then now all of a sudden I'm on him and I'm catching him. Because this thing is just that good. It's one of those planes which has incredible performance, but the guns are difficult for a lot of people to aim. Even myself sometimes, I'm not the best shot. You can see I whiffed on that A5 Saber right there, but especially for someone that's new to the game who just, level 5 Timmy, whipped out his mama's credit card, they're going to have a difficult time aiming these guns, and I think that's why it's been so low in BR for so long. But once they connect, they are lethal, and they also do train you for future planes like the MiG-17, the MiG-15, of course, which both have these weapons in a little bit of a different arrangement, though. And once you get the lead down, they are really, really good weapons, especially on a plane like this and at a lower BR than the other ones. You can see I just get the lead down on this Banshee right here, and he is just disintegrated. One thing I really enjoy in guns is when they reliably one-shot. When I can just hit someone once in a snapshot or something else. I'd prefer a gun that is more difficult to aim that does consistent damage. And this is one of the things that this gun does consistently well, while combining that with the flight performance that the Su-11 has. It has excellent climb, excellent acceleration. It has pretty good turn as well. Like this A2D right here, compared to a lot of jets, the A2D is relatively maneuverable. Of course, other props is going to have a really hard time against, but I just easily turn inside him, and like I said, of course, consistent damage from this thing. He does survive it, but he's on fire, and he's going to be toast here in a second. And then we got an F-89 coming in. Now, these guns aren't the easiest to aim in a head-on. I would not recommend full commit head-oning, but if you can just pop a couple shots off like this, well, sometimes we get shots like that, and I can tell you for a matter of fact that those are incredibly satisfying whenever you get those. I adore it whenever I get to pop someone in the head on just like that right there. Now here comes an F-84. This is, I think, the fastest plane at 7.0. It's the fastest one that I can think of. And I am just going to absolutely shred him here in the dogfight, of course. And then I'll actually catch up to him as well, because the F-84 doesn't have the best acceleration. And to be honest, this thing has better acceleration than many planes at this BR, and even higher. I can't think of a... I guess maybe the Rocket 262 and a couple other planes like that, like maybe the LA-15. But just in general, you accelerate so much faster than pretty much everything else as this BR that you can turn people and then accelerate away. You can get behind them and catch up to them. And I'm not sure what exactly he did right there, but I'm just going to assume that I scared him, and we'll count it as a maneuver kill. So I am going to go ahead and move on to my next clip. And I do just want to point out, I'm getting a lot of up tiers. You might have noticed this based on what I'm fighting. Like, there's the Cougars down there, the 8.3. I will say that this plane isn't seeing a lot of 6.3 right now. I didn't get a single 6.3 game while I was there. But you can imagine, if this performance is this good when fighting these higher tier vehicles, what's it going to be like when you're fighting, the A1H or the Bearcat or other planes like that, which they don't have the performance to keep up. They can't pull a 10G turn while going Mach 0.78 and slot in behind an enemy aircraft. And like I said, the aim is an issue. But I don't think that this plane should be at this BR. Even though it's gotten moved up from 7.0 to 7.3, it still needs to go up more. In my humble opinion, it should be at least 7.7. You can see I'm sitting here in this dogfight, and I just have so much more energy than anyone else, just because of the acceleration that the engines provide. That Oregon right there is actually a higher BR than I am. This Banshee is the same BR, and I outperform both of them. This is just honestly quite incredible, and I think the Su-11 is one of the few cases of I wouldn't say premium bias, but pay to win in the game. In general, most of the time Gaijin will balance premium vehicles, but I think in this case, the combination of the low velocity guns and the battle rating it's sitting at has led to a case where Gaijin, who bases all of their battle rating stuff on statistics, is seeing the plane is performing pretty much as usual because it's getting spammed out so much. It's this cycle where you hear people talking about how broken this vehicle is. You just started the game and you're like, okay, well, I want a really good plane, so you buy it. You can't aim the guns and you do horribly in it. And then Gaijin's in there looking at the stats and like, okay, well, this is performing as expected. We don't need to do anything about it. And the problem with that is that you get planes like this, which have really good performance, but they're let down by the players. And so Gaijin doesn't balance them. Now, them moving it to 7.3 is a good change. I'm hoping that this is going to keep going up to at least 7.7. But in the meantime, at least, I mean, I don't know what to say. If you see this thing whenever you're on the opposing side of it, good luck. I will say one of the disadvantages it has is it does not have an air brake, so you can try and force an overshoot, but there's not much that this plane doesn't do well. It's one of those all-rounders that, I mean, it turns well, it accelerates well, it has decent top speed. Not the best, of course, in new-wheel rips since you're a straight-wing aircraft, but just in general, it really performs well and you can really feel it. If you're going to be grinding out the Soviet tree, I'd probably pick this thing up when it goes on sale. Use it to grind, like a rank 6, and then Talos in one of those and grind the rest of your way up. Just because it's, to be honest, it's just so easy. Especially once you get the hang of the guns. It teaches you a lot about dogfighting, a lot about energy retention, and it also teaches you the guns that you'll be using on later. I just hate endorsing it because this thing is, to be quite frank, kind of disgusting. So, I guess all I can ask is that next time the battle rating changes come around, feel free to try and hop on the forums and talk about this thing, see if we can get it moved up in BR again. I'd be happy with 7.7, even though I think it should be 8.0. I think that'd be reasonable enough. Considering the other stuff at that BR, but in the meantime, just gotta deal with it. There's not much we can do about it, and hopefully the players that are using it will get a little bit better just organically. Now they're at a higher BR, you get less people playing it and spamming it out since it's not 7.0 anymore, so that we can go ahead and get this sorted out. But in the meantime, it is a really fun plane, I have to admit, even though I feel a little gross when I'm using it. So if you do like playing it, oh well. I just, I hope that something's done about it. But hope y'all enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And I'll catch y'all next time. So, peace.